Anything else?
Oh, I'd love to have you read some poems. They're my favorites.
Well, let me see. Maybe if I'm not too sick of them.
But I mean, that's always been a knockout to me. But,
to me, it was just the opening of the novel. I had to set the ground.
oh, that was it was.
Well, start off well then.
Yeah, it's a great it's a great piece of writing.
Somebody said they liked the way it started out. Post office. It began as a mistake.
I don't know if I can persuade you to read The Rain.
Oh,
We
I
ain't got no
was
money,
hoping
honey,
you
but we
would.
got rain.
It's not that long.
It
not-
isn't
Can
long.
I
It's
look
just so,
at it?
It's like about 6 pages, but it's
But
Six pages.
but it's
Oh,
one of the
okay.
wonderful poems
Oh,
of all time.
okay. But then we should call it on this one, I think.
You had that wonderful story where you wrote about Hoover's visit to Los Angeles,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and then you realized that you were telling lies.
Yeah. That was one of the few times I did a little bit of lying. That was, somebody asked me, when did you first know you were a writer? And that was when this teacher asked us all to write about President Hoover's visit to the Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretended I'd been there, and I wrote the whole thing, what happened, how he came in the motorcade, and how the people cheered, and the Secret Service agents surrounded him, and the sun came down. Even the birds seemed to know he was there, and they flew around, and I really loaded on the bullshit. So the teacher said, "Oh, class, I want to read you this, submitted by Henry." I said, "What?" She got up and she read it. All the little girls looked at me, and the guy said, We knew there was something wrong with him. So that was the first inkling that there was a seed in there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You made it all up.
I was
You
told
didn't
this
go there.
bullshit story about the president. I had no interest in him at all. And so there was a writer's seed in me early there somewhere. For some reason it was there. Also painting, I had a little, in art class, I said, "Oh, look at Henry's." So I appeared on a French television show,
Apostrophe.
and I got drunk and just said about anything I wanted. And we took a train to Nice to see
Uncle Jimmy.
visit the uncle, and he wouldn't let me in his house.
Because he'd been on
After-
television 2 nights before, and Bernard Pivot is this hero in France. I mean, everybody loved Bernard Pivot, the literary giant, the hero of all the intellectual bullshit and everything. Hank went on. They'd gotten him drunk. I mean, they gave him 2 bottles of wine before he went on. The show was live. They had all these interpreters up in these little rooms. Hank goes on with 4 other people in a panel. One of them was the psychiatrist of... who?
Artaud.
And then there was this woman who he kept feeling her legs and her ankles and
Oh, the
yelling
great
at these
socialist.
people.
Yeah.
And then he started Bernard Pivot started saying, shut up to Hank, and putting his hand over Hank's mouth, no way. And so Hank just said, "Ah!" And he rose hell. I mean, and everybody, I looked up and everybody was going crazy in the translation booths, and it went on and on. The next day, he was in every paper, the hero of national French television.
Not just a drunk.
Nothing has happened so wonderful in all the history of television. And so my uncle, who is a very conservative gynecologist from Harley Street, who went to southern France to retire with his little French model wife, said, "No way, you can't come here. You will never, ever enter my house." And we went there. We couldn't go.
That was all right with me. I didn't want to see
My
him.
poor mother was visiting, and she had to come and visit us at the hotel.
But my favorite story, went back to Paris, and we're eating in kind of an
In
outdoor
Nice.
area.
That was in Nice.
And oh, was it Nice? Oh, and a waiter came out from the next eating place down. He said, "Are you Charles Bukowski?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Will you wait a moment, please?" And he went and he got 6 other waiters, and they all lined up, and then they bowed like that. I said, "Thank you very much," and I just filed away and disappeared. That was a cheap thrill. I mean, that was inventiveness. I like
Oh,
that.
yeah, they were so
Class.
proud.
Yeah.
But what's it like in Germany, where where they?
He was
Oh.
like a Beatle. He was like Bob Dylan
Yeah.
or somebody. We go to the cleaners.
Brush you
They'd
on
be
the street.
following him all over.
Sign this, sign this. Bukowski, you're Bukowski. Well, should I have a beer to read this
Oh,
with?
there should be one here.
Oh, this one's full. I say. Just had an eye operation. Well, this is a long.
Put my earphones and get ready over here.
Remember, this one's your fault.
Okay, I'm set. Oh, I like the rain.
All right.